Hey guys, welcome back to another Helluva Boss discussion video. I am Dazzling Kate, and welcome back to my channel for those who are old here, and welcome to my channel for those who are new here. So we are going into another Helluva Boss video, and today's specific subject will be of Fizzarolli, and I know I'm already gonna have to deal with a lot of people who will tell me that I am wrong, I am a bad influence in the fandom, that I am not, understanding of Fizzarolli's character and what he brings to the table. And let me tell you right now, what does he bring to the table? Because I don't see much of anything involved in this situation. Let me tell you, I don't see much of anything that he brings to the table. The only thing I can really throw out there for what he brings is his connection to Asmodeus, and then his connection to Blitz's past, which, it's just barely scratching the surface. It's, But, okay, let's continue. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about with Fizzarolli's character is that he's just there to look pretty. That's all he is in the entirety of the show of Helluva Boss. He's just there to look pretty, look there to sell items, basically there to sell merch. And I love merch as much as the next person, but I want to talk about the whole point that he doesn't really bring much of anything to said table other than, again, looking good and having a cute ship with Asmodeus. That's all that really happens. They're basically the diet version of Blitz and Stolas. Just, again, this is what happens with a lot of LGBT relationships in media, is that they turn it into this, this cute thing, and to, push it out there, and not really treat it like a relationship. More so what's the word? They kind of baby it. They make it, seem like it's some kind of show to them. Oh, look, it's two gay guys holding hands. Isn't that adorable? And to some degree, it does work. It does work to sell. But the problem is that in the writing, it really, really, really makes the problems that these characters have seem less of problems, and all it can do is be fixed by cutesy relationship bullshit, and they all live happily ever after. That's all they do. There's nothing really there for Fizzarolli to be involved in other than just, his relationship with Asmodeus and maybe the occasional talk with Blitz. This is a character that has more episodes than Luna, Octavia, and Millie. It's really disappointing, and let me say this again. Those characters, granted, Octavia kind of counts as a side character, but since Stolas is sort of a core member of the main cast, it's she kind of counts as a side character, not a side character. God, I sound insane, but when that happens, when you have someone like Fizzarolli, the side character, yes, he's a side character. He doesn't really do much of anything to the plot, other than maybe he'll probably do something funny or something adorable for the audiences to appreciate it. And it makes me sad, because it's just how do we make a relationship between these two work, and then we're already trying to build the like little pyramid of like the plot with the main cast, and then you're just like, let's take the important building blocks for the main cast and give it to like, let's put it on the side. Like, this is the best example I can give you when it comes to story development for the main cast. And then when you have background characters like Fizzaroli taking it, like, again, you can have your side characters, or you can involve Fizzaroli more in the plot. Problem is how different the plots seem. Yes, Fizzaroli and Asmodeus are basically a sort of, I just want to say, a small thread of the plot. Like, again, if you remove them both from the story altogether, nothing really changes. I mean, I know a lot of people will be like, but like, with, like, Asmodeus gave, like, Stolas that thing, and then, yeah, I know, but, again, if you remove the relationship between the two and Fizzaroli in general, it's, all Stolas would really have to do is just be like, hey, Asmodeus, since I did a favor for you in this year, that year, and this year, and whatever other bullshit, he can easily have done, you know, that thing. Or even just, it's insane. It's insane. And what really is weird about it is the fact that when you think about it, we could have spent those, you know, episodes that was given to him on something else entirely. Especially considering the fact that if we had gotten more information, especially for season 2, that we didn't have to focus on, like, Fizzaroli or anything, and we spent it on someone else entirely, we could have actually gotten a Moxie episode that didn't suck, or a Stolas and Blitz, like, episode that kind of had them talk outside of just being like, oh, I don't want to talk, because all that could have been resolved with is talking. It makes it so difficult when you spend more attention on the side character. And let me get back to the graph. You have a pyramid of your story, right? But if you start taking little, like, if you start putting more of the blocks on the side where the side characters are, your pyramid is not going to get built. Like, you're just going to start throwing big, important moments and giving it to a side character that really doesn't matter to the plot. Again, I know people are going to be angry with that and be like, oh, bedazzling hate, this isn't fair that you're criticizing the hell out of, like this character because he's so cute and he's got this going on and that. And I do like Fizzaroli as a character. The problem is how you utilize him. If you are not utilizing him in the right way, you're basically making the story not make much sense. It's like flopping around, like you're trying to grab a fish you just dropped after fishing, and it's flopping around the entire boat. You can't seem to catch it because you're paying attention to the other fish that somehow another person lost, and it's going around like that. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, granted, that didn't make much sense either. Yeah, I'm really not going anywhere with what I'm trying to say, but you know, it's just the fact that Fizzaroli has a lot of attention put onto him, and for what? Tell me, what has he done for the plot that couldn't have been done by characters like Millie, Moxie, Stolas, even, or even the fact that Blitz could have like had these moments with Luna, or like Stolas having some kind of moment with like his daughter Octavia, or even having some villain build up. It doesn't make much sense. And again, that's another video for another time, because there is so much there I could talk about with who is the main villain of this entirety of the series, and I'd be like, I have no fucking clue. I guess everybody, but again, with the fact that this is a train wreck to begin with, during season 2 especially, it gets so old really quickly. And for what? For what? For Fizzarolli. What does he bring to the plot? Nothing really. Again, cool character that they could have actually built a different series or a mini series centered around Fizzarolli if they really, really wanted to go that direction. I could have seen a Fizzarolli, like mid-season finale for like Helluva Boss with Fizzarolli finally quitting. That could have actually been a mini series in itself, and instead it's just kind of thrown into Helluva Boss because reasons. Again, I know a lot of people will tell me, oh, but it really fit the aesthetic, it really fit the characters, it really did this, and yeah, I guess, but it's just, it doesn't really make sense that a side character like Fizzarolli really needs to have 2 episodes. Like, that would be like if in SpongeBob, instead of focusing on SpongeBob altogether, we'd be focusing on like Bubble Bass. Like, it comes out of nowhere. It comes out of nowhere. It doesn't make sense. Again, and don't think I'm trying to like be like, oh, they're on the same level of attractiveness. No. I feel like a lot of people would be like, if they don't know what I'm saying, would be like, oh man, you're trying to compare those two? That doesn't make any sense. I'm using the example of side characters that we don't see every day being pushed in. I know somebody's gonna mention that there's been a couple of Bubble Bass episodes. That's later SpongeBob, and yeah, I'm just trying to say as an example. Fuck, it has been a hard time looking at the script and being like, well, this fucking sucks. I was trying to say that as an example, guy. As an example, oh god. Yeah, I don't know how to talk anymore. I apologize about that, guys. I apologize about that a lot. I cannot English right now. But does this make Fizzaroli a bad character in general? No. The important thing is that he's wasted his potential by basically not really having people ask for more. It's just kind of like, and I know people are going to be like, we have asked for more. And what I'm saying is, when it comes to the main plot, and then you have Fizzaroli, and then you just give Fizzaroli those episodes, and then you're just kind of like, what? It doesn't add up. It really doesn't add up. It's one of those things where I just kind of wish they had not done that, and instead focused on Blitz's story with the other characters a little bit more, so we could have had more context and more development from the other characters, instead of just like giving it all to a side character that we're not even supposed to be focusing on in this situation. It's one thing to kind of like distance like the involvement of the characters. Like, we're supposed to build up some kind of drama, or some kind of like, we're supposed to have some kind of build up for a villain or something, and then we have like, that's when you use a side character to kind of like focus on seeing things on the outside of that. That's usually when you use that kind of thing for the characters like that are on the sidelines, and you kind of see it from their perspective. Like, it's kind of like my example, the best example I can think of is the Nightmare Before Christmas, when you have Jack, who is in his house, and then you have the townspeople just like talking about how Jack's been obsessed. That's how you would utilize characters like Fizzaroli. You would want to see things from his perspective of how Blitz fucked up. That kind of thing. It kind of really helps if they had done that more. I would have been able to excuse those episodes if we saw some more dramaticness of the plot from Fizzarolli's point of view, as, you know, maybe Blitz is talking to Stolas and he's just kind of pissed off about something, or he's like talking to Moxie or Millie, trying to like figure out some kind of like character problem, mission problem, and they're just trying to figure out, okay, how do we kill this person? How do we do that? Like, that kind of thing. And maybe it's something big and dramatic involving a specific person that they're supposed to kill. And maybe Fizzaroli has some kind of information about it. That's when you involve the character's plot. Like, that's how it would work. But that's not why we're here. That's really not why we're here. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, Fizzaroli could really have been better as a miniseries than as a getting his own episode in a series that just already has main characters that are poorly developed and don't have enough screen time, and then handing the screen time to a character that really doesn't have much involvement in the main storyline in itself. It really does not help matters at all. It's just unfortunate that that's where the series was heading. After those premieres, I feel like after that premiere, it just kind of went down very, very downhill from there, because they couldn't focus on the important characters than Fizzaroli, and it now damages him and the rest just by having those episodes, when we could have actually had more involvement from developing Stolas or Stella's objective or something of the sorts that could have built up the hype for the season finale, but instead we're just kind of, here we are. I know I was all over the place in this video, and I apologize about that. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. Hopefully my next video will help get back into the normalcy of making videos easier for me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and if you did, and if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. And if you want to help me even more, check out my Ko-fi, go check out my memberships. They are pretty much a good deal, and I do plan on getting more content made for after I surpass 10 members for my membership. I have a lot of other things and objectives to worry about at this moment, but thank you so much for watching. You guys don't know how much that means to me. I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay cool, and most importantly, guys, stay hydrated. This is Dazzling Kate, signing the hell out of here.